In this video, we are going to learn how to graph a quadratic function in standard form. Now, in order to do this, we need to find out what our axis, symmetry, and vertex is by using that formula x equals negative b over 2a. So, knowing this, I see my a value is an understood 1, while my b value is a positive 2. So plugging it in, I'll get x equal to 2 over 2 times 1, which gives me negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. So I know that my axis of symmetry is x equals negative 1, and the x value of my vertex is negative 1 comma something else. So in order to find the y value, I'll plug negative 1 into the function. So y equals negative 1 squared plus 2 times negative 1 plus 3. So 1 minus 2 plus 3. So that gives me negative 1 plus 3, which is 2. So my vertex is negative 1, 2. So now I'm going to graph my axis of symmetry at x equals negative 1. And my vertex, which is negative 1, 2, right here. And now I need to find another point. Now, we've learned before in graphing, we just pick any value to the right, and you may still use that principle here. But what could be even better is that we know the y-intercept here at 3. So 0, 3 is the y-intercept. So 0, 3. And we can reflect that point rather easily. And already we have enough points to make our parabola. Now it looks like this will open upwards, but let's just double check. A is greater than 0, so it will open upwards. Just to double check to confirm that we're graphing this correctly. So we'll graph an upwards parabola here. There you go. Let's try this one more time because it is rather quick once you get the hang of it. So again, we're going to use that formula for the axis of symmetry, negative b over 2a. And we'll pinpoint what a and b are. So a in this case is negative 2, and b is going to be 6. So we'll have x equal to negative 6 over 2 times negative 2. So that'll be negative of 6 over negative 4. The negatives will cancel, and I'll be left with 3 halves, about 1.5. So I know that my vertex is 3 halves, comma, some y value I'm about to figure out, and my axis of symmetry is that x equals 3 halves. So I'll plug in 3 halves into my function. I have negative 2 times 3 halves squared plus 6 times 3 halves minus 5. So I'll have negative 2 times 9 fourths plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 3 times 3 is 9 minus 5. 2 divided by 4 is 2, so we have negative 9 halves now, plus 4, which I need a common denominator in order to add together. So that will be negative 9 halves plus 8 halves, which gives me negative 1 half. And now we know where our vertex is, so we'll graph our axis of symmetry, which is at about 1.5. About right there. My vertex is at 3 halves right there at negative 1 half, so in between 0 and negative 1. And again, we know our y-intercept. It is -5. So 0, -5 is a point. And we have 1 point, so to find another one, this is about 1.5 over to the left, so we'll go 1.5 over to the right, which will put us at 3, -5, and now we can graph our parabola. And I didn't double check for our graph, but the a value is negative. So that means this parabola should open downwards. Since a is less than 0, parabola opens downwards. And that is how you graph a quadratic function in standard form.